Hey, welcome everybody. Glad you're here. Let's continue our journey. I'm on a personal journey with these slides, kind of checking out some different information, topics that interest me, personal growth and inner work. Do these topics interest you? Are you going on a journey with me? Let's do this together, okay? All right, so today, cultivating a garden of secure attachments. So I don't like right off the bat the title. Like, it's just so cultivating a garden. I don't know, but I am interested for sure in attachment styles, attachment, secure attachment. Maybe you're one of the lucky ones who has secure attachment right off the bat, right from childhood. And if so, good job to your parents. Okay. Growing healthy relationships through understanding and care. Understanding attachment theory. The roots of our connection patterns. Roots, what do you say? The roots of our connection patterns. Oh man, it's so interesting. Attachment theory reveals how our earliest relationships create internal blueprints for connection. Some of us really struggle with this. These patterns formed in infancy influence how we approach intimacy, trust, emotional security. Formed in infancy? That's interesting. Like I knew age 0 to 7, that would include infancy. But yeah, I didn't think of it as being mainly as an infant. That's really interesting. Like a garden's soil composition affects plant growth. Our attachment foundations shape how relationships flourish or struggle to thrive. Yeah, like what you frickin' learned as a kid, ugh, will follow you until you do the work in adulthood. It's rough, man. How about for you? The four attachment styles: secure, comfortable with intimacy and independence, forms healthy, balanced relationships with ease. Anxious, preoccupied, craves closeness, but fears abandonment, seeks constant reassurance from partners. Like this, right? Dismissive, avoidant, values independence over intimacy. This has been me. Struggles with emotional closeness and vulnerability, or fearful avoidant, wants close relationships but fears getting hurt. That's me too. Creates push-pull dynamics in partnerships. That's me too. So this is interesting because I've heard it as some other term. When you have both, right? Anxious and avoidant as disorganized. So to me, I'm like, where is disorganized? Maybe this is like the fearful avoidant. You want close relationships, yep, but you are afraid of getting hurt. I would say for me personally, afraid of losing myself, right? It's about learning like you can have yourself, your true, authentic self, and closeness with another, right? Creates push-pull dynamic. Okay. Recognizing secure attachment. I mean, it's kind of obvious. What healthy bonds look like: trusting nature, believing others are generally reliable and trustworthy, approaches relationships with openness rather than suspicion, clear communication, expresses needs directly, listens empathetically, handles conflict constructively without defensiveness. Healthy balance maintains individual identity while being emotionally available, comfortable with intimacy and independence. Okay. The impact of early relationships. How childhood shapes adult connection. Infancy, 0 to 2 years old, caregiver responsiveness creates foundational trust patterns. Consistent care builds security. Inconsistent care creates anxiety. Two. So this is interesting. Me personally, my mom did this. She nursed us, she picked us up when we were crying, this kind of thing. However, her very being was like fear based, right? So I wonder, I don't know what comes through with that, right? Early childhood, age 2 to 5. Emotional regulation skills develop through caregiver interactions. Kids learn whether emotions are safe to express. I don't know what my experience 2 to 5. Like, I think my mom cared about my emotions. Like, later, it was like I did not feel I could express, like it was shut down, but I don't know. I really don't know. School age, 6 to 12. So I was already failing at this age. How about you? I mean, to thrive, to have positive interactions, to find connection, right? To be able to express myself. School age 6 to 12, peer relationships begin reflecting attachment patterns, social skills. I did not have them. And friendship formation emerge from early templates, adolescence, and beyond. Romantic relationships activate attachment systems. Let's repeat that one. Romantic relationships activate attachment systems. So I can do really well in my regular life, interacting with people, like I'm social now, right? But a romantic relationship, boom, freaking activates attachment systems and shows, oh, you're not as far as you thought. There's still some big stuff going on here. Early patterns influence partner selection. This is so interesting. Also, like who you choose, who you're attracted to. Oh man. And relationship dynamics. Breaking harmful patterns, addressing insecure attachment styles, awareness. Recognize your attachment patterns and triggers. Notice how past experiences influence current relationship behaviors. Understanding, explore the roots of insecure patterns without judgment. So this is the thing. It's even today, right? I was triggered yesterday in a relationship from not getting attention when I needed it, right? And I make it mean like I am not wanted, I am not valued, and then kind of lashing out a little bit, right? Like push away. So all that matters is like, hey, leave that over here. All that matters is going in, right? All that matters is connecting to my heart, giving love to my child self, right? This kind of work. I was doing mirror work this morning because I did this really cool exercise at a retreat. It was intro to Tantra, like platonic, and but you would change partners and look into the left eyeball of the other person, like sitting face to face, right? It was such an interesting exercise. It was different with each person. With one woman, we just freaking giggled. With another man, I think we both I don't know if this is why, if we, it's like a very maybe we both hold a lot of sadness, just instant, like deep, right? And crying. Another person feeling peace. So interesting. So, anyway, I tried this with myself, you guys, in the mirror this morning, looking into my left eyeball. And it's a cool exercise. Try it because sometimes it's hard to look into two eyes. If you're like me, it's like shifty, right? You don't know where to look. If you're already struggling with something emotionally, like you can really zero in on one eyeball. So anyway, it's maybe a strange exercise, but give it a try. Explore the roots of insecure patterns without judgment. So it's hard to, I'm speaking for myself, right? It's hard to give love to me if I'm acting out, if I'm not proud of my behavior, if I'm insecure, right? I like when I feel great and full of love and right and confident. I don't like when I slip into like, oh, right, that childhood stuff. But it's so important to love me and for you to love you when that happens. So let's do that together. Okay, so understand how this stuff was protective for you as a child. So if I wall myself off, I'm not going to get hurt again, right? Now, I'm also not going to get love. So that's the thing. Okay, compassionate change. Gradually challenge unhelpful patterns while practicing self-compassion. Seek therapy or support when needed for deeper healing, new growth, cultivate secure behaviors through conscious practice. Another thing I'm working with right now is God. So it's like turning to God because I have come into a lot of pain in my life recently. So it's like, your will be done, right? And to me, I see God in many different places, right? So yeah, thy will be done. Like, I'm not in control. I don't have to control anything, right? Cultivate secure behaviors through conscious practice. Also, this morning I was working with like saying to me, I am completely here for you right now, right? Kind of like a parent part of me, or higher self to this triggered child part, right? Like, I am completely here for you now. I am completely here for you now. Okay. Um, choose relationships that support your growth and healing journey. That's really interesting. I have one relationship in my life right now where there's so many red flags, right? But there's so much good too that it's like confusing. But I have to admit, like, I see many, many red flags, right, for myself. Like, how do you feel about yourself around somebody, right? Okay. The foundation for secure relationships: consistency, follow through on commitments, large and small. Reliability builds confidence in the relationship stability. I totally feel this and agree. Like, stability, consistency, there's excitement, there's fun, there's all this passion, right? But like, being able to count on something, especially when you're triggered, could be really important, right? Lately I've been thinking in terms of a container. Like, like, when do I feel contained, right? Free, but contained. So let me know if you relate to any of that, right? Transparency, share thoughts and feelings openly. Yeah, I've been working with prayer. Like, God, help me to be honest, at least with you, or the gods, or whatever. Okay, higher power of your understanding, higher self. You know, help me to be honest, at least with myself, at least, with some connection spiritually, right? Honest communication creates emotional safety and deeper intimacy. It's like, a lot of times I need to hear me. Sometimes I'll record. If you guys have never done this, like, this is another cool thing. If you have a lot, right? If you have a lot of emotional stuff, you have a hard time verbalizing, like, you can speak it out in a voice memo, send it to a trusted person. But then, like, what I do is I listen to it myself. And a lot of times that's what makes me okay. Like, I needed to hear me, right? Like, I'll make it mean whether a person does want to hear me or not, I'll like decide, right, and be triggered and feel like they don't want to hear me, so I don't matter. And then I won't listen to myself. So, like, it's very healing for me to listen to me. It sounds very ego, but I don't think so. I think it's beautiful, and that's another thing you can try. All right, patience. Hey, well, let's see. This is full screen, but you kind of got to scroll down. Interesting. Allow trust to develop gradually over time. So I tend to keep having like blow ups, right? And so that does damage to trust. But guess what? I need to love me anyway. So what are your patterns? And do you do kind of self-destructive or destructive to your relationship kind of things? And can you love you anyway? Like, we need to start where we are, right? I do. Rushing the process can damage the delicate foundation. Effective communication. Communication. Nurturing growth through expression. Active listening, give full attention without planning your response. Reflect back what you hear to ensure understanding. Emotional validation, acknowledge your partner's feelings as legitimate, even when you disagree with their perspective. So for me, I really get into emotions. And so sometimes I don't want to just have like a verbal conversation. Like, I need to do the inner work. I need to cry. And sometimes I like having presence with that. Like, that's a form of communication to me, right? Like, nonverbal. Like, somebody being there for me, hold my hands while I feel, right? So non-defensive responses, stay curious, rather than defensive when receiving feedback. So yeah, like especially if I act out, it's hard to then feel the criticism because it's right. Like I acted out, right? Nevertheless, the thing to do is to love me and for you to love you. Okay. So, yes, work on your behaviors, but also give love to you. Or I can't handle, I will just like end it, right? Like shut it down. Okay. And if you have these strong protective mechanisms, like there's a reason. There's a reason. So have empathy for you, right? From childhood. Boundaries and independence. Healthy space for flourishing connections, just as plants need adequate space to grow. Healthy relationships require boundaries that allow both partners to maintain their identity while staying connected. Personal space, maintain individual interests, friendships, goals, clear expectations, communicate needs and limits, discuss boundaries openly, flexible adaptation, adjust boundaries as relationships evolve, regular check-ins, ensure boundaries remain healthy and relevant, mutual respect, honor each other's boundaries without resentment, see limits as acts of self-care, not rejection. So I'm hearing that one today. Cultivating your relationship garden, practical steps for secure attachment, self-reflection. Examine your attachment patterns, like your triggers. Like instead of just going to like shame or shutting someone out or, like again, I think it's about love. I gotta give love to me because when I forgive me, when I give love for me, when I connect to my child self, when I do that inner work, then I'm back suddenly in love, and confident, right? And able to definitely interact appropriately with people in relationship. And, so it's about that. It's about that inner work. Um, yeah, conscious practice. Practice secure behaviors in daily interactions. Small, consistent changes create lasting transformation. And again, I'm turning to God. Like I got in a lot of pain, I'm turning to God. God, help me. Please give me the right thought or action. Please give me inspiration. Your will, not mine, be done. I don't need to control. I'm no longer running the show, right? Seek support, consider therapy, support groups, trusted friends who can provide guidance and encouragement on your journey. Like who really is there for you? Who can you talk to? For me, a lot of these processes, like I need to do myself, right? But I also need people. One thing I'm really connecting to lately is music, and in particular, I've been so into kirtan, and so it's really cool, you guys, on Spotify, it'll list out all the words so you can see the Sanskrit mantra, right? Like I was listening to one. If you want me to post the link, let me know. That just absolutely regulated my nervous system. I listened for hours. I'm singing, I'm chanting, like, you might need something, right? Like that. This one was something about Krishna. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Embrace patience. Remember, secure attachment is lifelong practice. Like you can't just change your attachment. Like this shit is gonna come up, right? The only choice we have is to love it. Like if you don't want to go downhill with it, right? Like the only choice is to look at it, right? Like shine the flashlight but with love, with love, with love. Give yourself comfort, comfort, comfort. Like for example, like this kirtan song was for me, right? Oh, that's the end. Okay. Hey, have a wonderful day. What's your attachment style? What's your knowledge of attachment to this degree? Like, are you interested in this topic? What are your triggers? And I don't know, say hello. All right. Have a wonderful day. Love you all.